Yeah. Oh, bro, you did this. Damn.
Well, I
You
guess
know
I
whose
have
fault it was? NetEase. It has to be.
Yeah. I know what you're thinking. You're looking at the duration of this video and you're like, gee, Stix, this is a really long video. And yeah, it is. But I sat down with Tectone and we discussed the state of the gacha genre as a whole. We discussed upcoming gacha games like Zenless Zone Zero, Girls Frontline 2, Project Mugen, Wuthering Waves. We discussed our hopes, our dreams for the genre. We discussed games that we were looking forward to and we enjoy, and games that we don't necessarily. Hopefully you enjoy. So let's start off talking about the state of the genre right now. There are
the best it's ever been.
Oh yeah, dude, totally. There are so many enormous games right now. Honkai Star Rail eclipsed Genshin Impact, which nobody thought would happen. Genshin Impact is still pulling in like hundreds of millions combined global and China. We have like, did you see the trailer for Project Mugen?
Yeah, immediately.
Dude, that actually like, that looks so crazy, but at the same time, like NetEase is behind it. So you're like, it has the potential to be so cool, but at the same time, like they have this, it also has a potential to be an absolute shit show. So
yeah, I mean, the biggest red flag company for me is generally Nexon or Netmarble. I haven't had too much bad experience with NetEase yet. I was looking into them a little bit. I haven't seen them flop that much. What games are they behind?
Oh man, I think recently they did, what was it? Ni no Kuni Crossworlds, right?
Oh, the NFT?
Yeah, it wasn't an NFT to begin with, and then
oh god,
was that NetEase or was that Netmarble? Dude, I don't even remember.
I believe that was Netmarble.
Okay, yeah. Let's see.
Yeah.
Uh,
because I hear everybody talk negatively about NetEase, but I haven't personally seen what they've done.
I know there's a lot of contention with regards to like developers and publishers, especially out of China, and
yeah, 100%.
And like more specifically Tencent and NetEase. But I don't know, I'm looking at NetEase's games right now. I don't really see that many, like Onmyoji, Marvel, Duel. I don't know.
Yeah, I think people are acting like it's more of a red flag than it is, from what I know. But maybe somebody can explain why. But I see a lot of the comments on the internet where it's like, oh, this thing again, here we go. And I'm like, okay, well, why are you saying that? And they say, well, you know. And I'm like, no, I don't. Can you explain? And they're like, no. So I'm just like, all right, well, until somebody can explain why NetEase is bad, I try to keep an open mind. I mean, especially in this space, like this is a space where it's really like cash shit to the side. If you don't do your research for yourself, you're going to end up thinking or doing some dumb shit. So that's my opinion on that. So I'll wait to be more informed.
Yeah, like I did a video on Project Mugen and it's like 30,000 views so far. And people are just like, this looked really good. And then I saw NetEase was behind it. So now I think it's going to be shit. And I'm like,
yeah.
I mean, like, let's be honest, there are a lot of bad studios out there, but at the same time, like not every game produced by a studio that has a history with bad games is going to automatically come out bad. Like, I mean, Nexon's a pretty shit publisher, pretty shit developer. They made a lot of bad games, but they also do Blue Archive, which is a monolithic success worldwide.
That's very, very, very true.
So,
I did a video for for Project Mugen yesterday. It has over 80,000 views. I have not seen a single comment on NetEase so far.
You're lucky.
Yeah, so I am really looking for this. I mean, I saw it on my stream. Oh, here we go. You know, this game looks kind of promising. Until it was produced by NetEase. Oh no, it's probably going to be flashy with good combat, but have some type of more horrible monster in a closet that'll kill it a few months later after launch because it fell off. What is it? And that's it. But they don't even specify why. Like, I don't know, man. So yeah, I'm going to take that with a grain. Yeah. If they don't elaborate, I take it with a grain of salt. Like, there's too much shit especially with content creators as well. Like, you really can't trust what you hear about content creators unless you watch them for yourself. My opinion.
Or if you know them personally.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
So you saw Project Mugen. You know that I think you played some Wuthering Waves, right, during its beta?
I played the Wuthering Waves, brother. That game is a diamond.
Right? Man, people think that it's like Genshin, but really bare bones. They think that it's for whatever reason like so inferior. But I think my wife and I poured in over 100 hours during the last beta. Probably a total of like maybe 150. We streamed most of it. Like we were having a fucking blast. The story's kind of, I mean, like it's honestly not that great. The voice acting was missing a lot of the time. Like there are a lot of issues, but I feel like Wuthering Waves has a lot of potential in the future.
It's I think it's the combat you play the game for. Where so like Genshin you'll play for the adventure, Honkai Star Rail you'll play for the story, Wuthering Waves you play for the combat. That's how I feel so far.
Yeah, just like Punishing Grey Raven.
100%. Do you like Kuro games?
I do. I've had a lot of good experiences with them too.
Gacha game companies avoid me like the plague, so I have not had any experience with them.
Well, that's okay. MMO companies avoid me in much the same way. So,
amazing.
For whatever reason, like typically I talk fairly positively about a lot of gacha games that I enjoy, like Genshin, Honkai, Blue Archive, Arknights, Punishing Grey Raven. Like there's a lot of fun gacha games out there. With the
hey, not TOF. You should talk TOF and the 10 people who still play it.
Dude,
you crossed the line, man.
I do. I have done numerous positive Tower of Fantasy videos, and you know what? Nobody watches them.
I know, man.
It's like I could do a video like this thing in Tower of Fantasy was shit, and it's like 100,000 views. I'll be like, this thing in Tower of Fantasy looks incredible, and it's like 4K views. Yep. So it's like nobody gives a about the positive shit.
It is a shame because it did have so much potential, and I've heard they fixed a lot of things, but unfortunately, it's a little bit too little, too late. You know, I really hate when people have the mindset of, oh, well, they fixed all the issues. It was like, okay, well, it's been like 2 years, bro. Like they're not putting out any marketing campaigns, right? The sponsorships are bare minimum. Like, what do you expect? I mean, it's an MMO. They need a player base, and they killed it with the game state launch.
Yep.
It's a shame because I enjoyed the Tower of Fantasy when it first came out. I did. I have been sponsored recently, very sparingly from TOF, and from what I've seen, it was moderately enjoyable, but even still, it's still buggy. And you know, mobile MMO generally never works, but I felt like it had a shot, but I feel like it blew it, which is a shame.
Yeah. I actually played a lot of I think the 2 final beta tests for it. I think I poured in like 50, 60 hours both times. I spent about 2 weeks when the game launched in it. My wife actually played it for about 3 months straight after it launched, playing it for hours every day. And I went back to it recently. I did a video on it, I think about 2 weeks ago. It's gotten over 100K views so far.
Fuck yeah.
And 3.0, which is like, so I'm sure you're aware at like 2.0, they're like, this is going to be the, you know, the thing that saves the game. And it didn't. Then 3.0 came out. They're like, this is going to be what saves the game. And it didn't. But 3.0 is still a drastic improvement over what it was. And I think that it's in a pretty good state right now. And if it launched like it is now, back in 1.0, I feel like it would have been a much more resounding success. But like nobody's left to play it now to even realize that it's better.
I'm not sure if I agree with that entirely, the sentiment, because I do think it would be better, but the big issue with Tower of Fantasy was server stability, and I mean, that game was unplayable. The hackers and the server stability were an absolute nightmare. I mean, me and my buddies, like, if there's more than 5 people on your screen, it would just blow up. Then I'm a streamer. Dude, trying to play that game with 100 people following you and like 8 hackers, I would have hackers teleporting me around the map. Bro, that shit was terrible. So I feel like the game stability might have gotten better because people just don't play it anymore. I don't know if the servers would still be able to handle it if it did have a resurgence. So that's me from a pessimistic point of view. But yeah, just my opinion.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think you played on a more populated server too, and I mean, like, much bigger streamer. I think you played on a streamer server. There were like people flooding those servers. I played on a much smaller server, so I didn't really have much issue with server stability or anything like that. But that's Tower of Fantasy. Like there are a lot of good games that. What are you playing currently?
I am playing. First of all, Armored Core 6 just came out. That game is nuts. But for mobile games, Honkai Star Rail, best gacha game on the goddamn planet right now. Fuck, I love it so much. 5 minutes a day, if you just want to be done with it. Or you can play for hours if you want to grind MOC and your account's weaker. or you can grind the worlds every day, which is really fun for free resources. Characters are really good. Story's really fucking good. I recommend Honkai Star to fucking everybody, bro. That game is so goddamn good. I play Genshin Impact, playing that game incredibly casually. Probably playing about 2 hours a week, just exploring and taking in the world. Fontaine is very beautiful. The story quests for the main Archon quest part 1, part 2 were very fun. Other than that, I don't really think there's anything worth playing for mobile games, for me at least, right now.
Really? You're not interested in... Man, what came out recently? Like, Snowbreak, I think Aether Gazer came out just a couple months ago.
Aether Gazer wasn't a fan. It looked all right. Snowbreak was painful. I tried multiple times just to make an account, and I couldn't even get past login. So that just... I knew that if the client was having... And then I Googled it, and it was a problem happening in mass. And I knew, okay, well, there's another red flag. Probably not going to do so good. And yeah, I have tried multiple times to try it, but I can't even get into the goddamn game, man.
That makes sense. From what I could tell, I think it isn't doing too bad. I think it made like 1.52 million in its first month, and it launched towards the end of the month. So honestly, yeah, according to Reddit, it made about 3.5 million globally, which isn't a bad turnaround for the game for only like a week and a half.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, the category is pretty fucking dead on Twitch as well as YouTube.
For Snowbreak?
Yeah.
Or for gacha games in general?
Yeah, for gacha games in general.
Yeah, I've seen Genshin's category like at what, like 8 to 10k, even though it's, you know, generally considered the most popular gacha game in the world.
Genshin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's finally going to get competition. If Project Mugen launches successfully, and let's be real, it probably won't. I mean, it won't, you know?
Yeah, it won't because it's NetEase, right?
No, it's not even that. It's just that, like, I don't get what gacha game companies don't get. But I swear to God, it's like Hoyoverse is the only company that actually f***ing gets it. Like, there's rarely ever any issues. It's very, very, very simple. But like, I see all these games coming out. I want to be hyped. Wuthering Waves, I'm confident for. I know Kuro games. They're good. They nail launches. Zenless Zone Zero, no worries whatsoever. Any company that I don't know, bro, it's like I just have flashbacks of every single game that fucking fumbles. I don't know what it is. Like Snowbreak fucking fumbled to the launch. Tower of Fantasy fumbled to the launch. Ni no Kuni fumbled the launch. Seven Deadly Sins fumbled the launch. Like I don't know, man. I'm an old depressed gamer now, man. I don't trust these fucking companies. I really wish I could. You know, it shouldn't make that big of a deal. But at the end of the day, I mean, we have to realize the majority of these gacha game companies are focused on one thing and one thing only: shortcuts and making as much money as possible. And it's frustrating. The trailers look really good, but I'm just so worried about the launch, bro. If it goes great, amazing. But like, I'm pretty sure the strategy for every good mobile game launch is obviously sponsor as many content creators as possible, right? Run as many ads as possible, get drops on day one on Twitch, sponsor as many streamers as possible, and then get people in on day fucking one, because day one of a gacha game is fucking everything. It is. A good day one launch can keep people there for years.
I completely agree. The initial impression and perception is everything.
Now, I will say this. You know what really has me worried about Project Mugen? The cars. I don't know why, but like, I don't think I've ever seen a gacha. The Spider-Man thing's fine, but the cars, I just don't see how that's necessary for what type of game it is. But maybe I'm just not understanding what it's trying to be yet.
So that feature already existed actually in Dragon Raja. I don't know if you played Dragon Raja, but
only when I was sponsored.
I mean, same. But
yeah.
But so Dragon Raja has this big modern city with cars. And I've seen people make reference to the similarities between both Mugen and Dragon Raja in that aspect. And in Dragon Raja, and this actually happened on stream, I didn't know that the cars actually had like collisions. So the car came up to me, it parked in front or stopped in front of me, started honking their horn, and this dude started like yelling at me to get it out of in front of his car, and then he told me he was gonna call the cops, and then like 1 minute later the cop comes up and arrests me, and I'm like, what the
Jesus Christ.
So I mean, that feature exists in gacha games right now. It might be something similar, I don't know. And Dragon Rush is a Chinese game, so
yeah. I just know I did Tower of Fantasy cars, and then my experience was just horrible lag, horrible desync, and falling through the terrain.
Yeah, I remember some of those clips of you just like being teleported up into the sky and then dropped endlessly.
Yep, that was infuriating.
No, man. Thankfully, I never had to deal with that myself, but I mean, I could see how that could definitely skew your opinion of it a little bit of a launch anyway. Is that the first time that happened? Is that the only time that's happened, or?
Oh, only time ever.
Wow. Although I guess it's also because it's an MMO, right? You don't really do MMOs. Of course.
Yep. I mean, there's still co-op in Genshin. I mean, that being said, the shit in Genshin Impact right now, I'm not sure if you heard there was a bug today where people could go around as Kave and permanently delete items from your game as Kave.
Like the lootable items is off like the harvestable.
Like they could delete, like there's these things where you clear domains and they summon this big tree and Kave can use his ability and delete the tree from your game forever.
Forever.
Yeah. Until the developers like patch it.
Yeah, and then roll it. Wow, that's kind of
Yeah, I can send you a link if you want to watch later.
Oh yeah, sure. I haven't played Genshin since 2.6, I think.
Yeah.
So I got to push through Sumeru and then get to Fontaine, and man, there's a lot of content to go through.
Yeah, that's a lot of work, man.
What about what do you think the future holds for Gacha? Do you think it's gonna continue expanding? Because right now, Gacha games are like, I don't know, kind of some of the most popular video games in the world. The monetization method, the business models, kind of attracting games of all kinds on all platforms. When games are released nowadays, they're launching onto console, onto PC, but also onto Android and iOS because, you know, monetizing via gacha is just so incredibly lucrative.
Yeah. I think the future of gacha games is very, very, very good. The problem is the creators in the space. There's a very big anti-social keeping your own bubble issue, and I feel like for the space for creators, people need to do more collaborative things because it's really not that hard to just sit down and talk to somebody like we're doing right now. It ain't hard. It's just you talk to somebody and you be cordial and it's fun. Mm-hmm. I love meeting other creators. I love getting to know their ideas and their thoughts on shit. So it's very good. That being said, I mean, it is like pulling teeth with some people. It really, really, really is. And not just with me. It's not just with me. Like there are people with gacha creators who like they get in their own bubbles and they say, oh, if you interact with this person, then don't interact with me. And there's all this like little childish little dude. It is so crazy, bro. And they're like, oh, it's like little kids at the playground. It's like, oh, if you talk to him, don't talk to me. And I'm just like, shut the fuck up. I'm gonna talk to whoever I want to. Like when I did my podcast, I had a person coming on my podcast. I'm not gonna say who it was, but I was literally warned by 4 other people to not bring this person on my podcast. And I said, y'all can go fuck yourselves. I'm going to talk to who I want. I am a 29-year-old man. I am not dealing with this elementary school bullshit. I am going to talk to whoever I wanted to. And the podcast went absolutely fantastic. This whole like blacklist, keep people singled out as cringe. I have no time for that shit at all. I'm going to talk about whatever the fuck I want to talk about. But right now, I do feel like the future of gacha game for a content creator's practice is actually giving the community what they want, and that's seeing their favorite creators talk to one another because it's exciting, right? Even when I first started that, when I was like 25, maybe 24, when I first started making content creation, there's barely any gacha collabs like ever. I think maybe Summoner's War had the most collaborative things as far as content creators went in the space, and that was very fun. But as far as Genshin or Arknights or Honkai Star World goes, it's very, very, very limited. So I am trying very hard to unite more people, so that way there can be a more broad mainstream appeal. Because once you can start combining viewerships and increasing the space and you having more togetherness, then you can branch out and do more things with other people, and you get friends from outside of the space to feel comfortable going into the space and trying it for the first time. But right now, gacha is taboo. Talking to creators is taboo, and we are killing our fucking genre by refusing to communicate with people. It is fucking childish. That being said, the future of games is very, very, very bright because games are becoming less predatory and more viable to be completely free to play. Honkai Star Rail is one of the most free to play friendly gachas of all fucking time. I've been free to play since day one. Never have an urge to spend money ever. And when games like Zenless Zone Zero coming out, Wuthering Waves, which by the way, I have no fucking idea how that game's gonna make money. Because if you are good at that game, you can clear anything in that game, probably even at level 1, which is nuts. Because PGR, you do the same goddamn thing. Kuro Games really loves rewarding players for like actually being good and playing their fucking game, which I love. I love that shit. Now, Project Mugen, I don't know. I mean, shit, it's NetEase, man. What else can I say? No fucking idea. Now, I will say this. I do think the gacha gaming future is bright. Howsoever, Nino Kuni served as a massive red flag, as well as Mir 4 with implementing things like NFTs. Do I think there's a way that we can implement NFTs into games that can benefit the players by having things be more exclusive and them actually owning their intellectual property that they pull in the game? Sure. Do I think we're anywhere close to that? Absolutely fuck not. But there's going to be so many games that are going to be spoiled and ruined by, let's do another attempt at the NFT to make some more money ploys. It's going to make me fucking sick. But I'm hoping to God it doesn't happen to Zone Zero or Project Mugen or Wuthering Waves, because those are my fucking children right now. If they fuck with those people, I will kill them. That's my opinion.
Well, thankfully, Hoyo tends to care what their community thinks, and I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say to listen to all forms of feedback, otherwise there might be a more functional end game in Genshin, but at the same time, I feel like they do listen to enough feedback to where you can say that they care about their community. I know Kudo definitely cares about their community. I've been working with Kudo for about 2 years now. I've taken probably a dozen or so sponsorships from Punishing Gray Raven and from Wuthering Waves, and they've been very, very lenient in what they allow for me to do. Like, they're like, hey Stix, we just want you to jump into, like, when Punishing Gray Raven was coming to PC, they're like, hey Stix, you want to play you want to stream Punishing Gray Raven? I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. What do you want me to do? Whatever the fuck you want to do. Like, if you don't like it, then just say you don't like it, but tell us why you don't like it. And I was like, really? You just want me to get in game and like blast it to fucking shit if it's bad? And they're like, yeah, if you genuinely think it's bad, you just say it in the video. Like, you don't even need to send us a draft. You just publish the video however you want. As long as you play the game and you show like the core systems on PC in the video, then you can say and do whatever you want. We have faith in our game. We have faith in you that you will do a solid service to the game, and I did. I worked with them a dozen or so times after that, and every single time they didn't send me any talking points. I didn't have to revise anything, and they were very happy with every single thing I did. And admittedly, I haven't had that experience with any other studio, not with Hoyo, not with Hypergriff, not with NetEase or Netmarble or anything like that. But Kudo, they really do have a lot of faith in their game with Punishing Gray Raven, and they're making a lot of alterations to Wuthering Waves, I think, that are being made due to what the players gave in terms of feedback during the most recent beta test. I don't know if it's necessarily going to be for the better or not. Like, I had a lot of issues with the multiplayer. I think the multiplayer was probably worse than Genshin's, and I don't think Genshin's multiplayer is that good. That was always I think a topic of contention with me, because when I started playing Genshin, I felt like I wanted to be able to do more stuff with people, because like from an MMO background, like I typically played with a lot of people, dozens of people in guilds, raids, dungeons, but Genshin was like, you can group together, but you can't really like push in terms of progression. You can farm monsters, bosses out in the worlds and everything, but you can't really do much more than that. You can't loot like chests or progress with the story or anything like that. And Wuthering Waves is much the same way. But I don't remember what it was, but there was something about it that I think was even more limiting than Genshin's was. But I understand it was also in a, it was in a beta test phase, so there's still a lot of room for improvement. And then,
yo, hook me up with the Kuro Games contact.
All right, dude. They're always asking me. Dude. They're always asking me, like, do you know any other creators that would want to do Punishing Gray Raven or Wuthering Waves content? And I'm like, I mean, the only people in the gacha space that I know are like sub 20k YouTubers.
Why do you think you don't know people in the gacha space? Do you think it's kind of what I say? Do you think why do you think that is?
I think that, interestingly enough, so with regards to the MMO scene, I reached out to Asmongold. We talked, we sat there for over an hour and just talked about everything that came to mind. I know Josh Strife Hayes. I know
great guy.
Yeah. Callum Upton. I know so many different MMO YouTubers, and that's because we all share common interests in the MMO scene. We've all played the same MMOs, and I think they're more, as MMOs are, I don't know, we're wired differently to be more inclusive of other players because we work with them typically. But in gacha games, they're more about the solo play, the solo aspect, and none of them have ever reached out to me. Like Josh, he reached out to me initially, and he was like, hey dude, I love your videos, you want to do a collab? And I was like, hell yeah, like, so that sounds great. And then I reached out to other people after he reached out to me, because I was like, that sounds like a good idea. But with gacha, I've never had another gacha YouTuber or streamer reach out to me. I've reached out to numerous, and I haven't really heard back from the majority of them. I think you were probably one of 3 out of maybe 10 that I've messaged that have actually responded.
So when I was talking about earlier how Gacha was a closed off space, did that ring true?
I think so, yeah, because I did a lot of Arknights stuff, and I tried reaching out to other Arknights creators, and not a single one of them ever like replied back, ever responded, ever started trying to open this form of communication or anything. And
Yeah.
and then like there were instances, I won't name who, but there were a couple different people that, as you noted, were like, yeah, I have like 40k subscribers and I'm an X game creator, and there's this other one with like 100 or 200k subs and he's also in the same category, but I don't talk to him, I don't connect with him because I do similar videos, but I think my videos are better, or like there are numerous reasons that were given, but they, for whatever reason, yeah, just don't seem to ever reach out beyond the little bubble that they're in. I completely agree.
Yep.
It's very strange.
It is very strange.
So I was glad when you were like, oh yeah, dude, like I'm down to talk, because
Yep.
you're one of the
Dude,
bigger Gacha creators out there. So
Yeah, some would say I'm the best.
hey, dude, I mean, you know, my mother used to tell me the same shit. Like,
Yeah. You know what my mom told me? Get the fuck out of my house. And so I did. But no, I love meeting people, man. I absolutely love meeting people. It's my favorite thing on earth. That's why I love Twitch streaming. Like, YouTube is fine, but I love Twitch because it lets me like meet and like connect with people, and that's what I think life's about. So I'm always down to do anything with anybody.
yeah, it's an interesting space. Although I feel like Twitch is such a difficult platform to grow on as a gacha creator. I think as an MMO creator as well, but even more so as a gacha creator, because unless you're streaming like one of the big gacha games, you're not really gonna see any kind of traction. And beyond that, there are already a lot of pre-established gacha creators out there. Like if you're looking for a Genshin creator, there's like a dozen that all average hundreds or thousands of viewers. Like, and what are you gonna really offer that they don't already? And they already have pre-established communities. And
Yeah. So what you do is you go live day one. You make sure you're there 8 hours before the launch of a new mobile game. You stay up for 24 hours. And then the first day is the biggest day. And then consistency every day off of that. And you go live with the title Q&A, Help Desk, This Game Pro, answering all questions. Okay. And then also put drops in your title. And all you do is you'll sit there and just answer every single question that is asked in your chat. And that will guarantee you growth for new games. Like, for example, when Project Mugen comes out, when Zenless Zone Zero comes out, you just get, you grease that fucking closed beta test. You grease that shit up. You go live first, you stay live last, and you answer every fucking question the whole goddamn day. And then you say, oh, also I'm doing a giveaway for new followers. And then you give away a $20 gift card. You do that every hour. That's how you grow in the streaming space. If you want to force yourself into it. It's a lot of consistency. It's a lot of grinding. It's a lot of knowledge base. But that's how you get into the space, and then you stay in the space, and then people see you as a knowledgeable figure. But that being said, that's a slippery slope, because then if you give out one piece of quote unquote misinformation, other theory crafters are going to prey and say your information is as good as theirs. And the theory crafting drama is very, very, very unfortunate. I'm not sure if you've seen any of that shit lately, but people hold misinformation worse than crimes than fucking Adolf Hitler in this fucking space, which, by the way, this was a real thing. So because 3 year ago, Arknights sponsored me. And you know how when a company sponsors you, they say these words, and then you say these words? Okay, well, I did an old ad for Arknights where I say any character can be a boss killer, because that's what Arknights wanted me to promote. I can even link you this ad. Hold up, I'll link it to you. I don't like having you like take my words for it. So Tectone Arknights ad, here it is. Okay, in this ad, you'll hear me say anybody can be a boss killer, because that's what they wanted me to say. And so I say Spectre is also a boss killer, because they wanted to promote that mentality that you can play any character in any role that you want, and every character being a boss killer. I have been hearing about that for 3 years. 3 years. Because I said Spectre was a boss killer in Arknights for 3 years. And there were even a comment. I forget which Reddit it was. I made a tweet about it. I could link the tweet if you want, but in this tweet, there is a reply that says the worst persons list. Tectone at number 1, number 2, Adolf Hitler. It was fucking nuts to me. And now people refer it to as the Arknights incident, when in reality, there is no Arknights incident, but nobody ever specifies what the fuck they're talking about. So people just think I'm Satan. So it's ridiculous.
oh man, that rings so true. 2 years ago, in December of 2021, when Tower of Fantasy was launching in China, they mentioned that they were interested in doing global, and they mentioned they were interested in doing console. They never confirmed it, and I did a video stating that it was that according to them, they had plans on releasing on console and plans on releasing globally. They then changed their mind. They said, no, we're not going to release on console anymore, but I still have a video there saying that they said they were going to. Now, once they made that statement, what I stated was suddenly misinformation, and then people started claiming that I was spreading misinformation about console. And then look at it now. You know, a year later, it's on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Is it still misinformation? No, but that rumor is there, has been there since December 2021, and it's still used. It's still used to discredit me.
They use it like it's like you committed an actual crime, like that you like killed someone or like went on a stream and said a fucking slur. Like these people, I don't know what's wrong with these people. It's like they've never been outside their fucking house. They hear somebody say, "Oh, Jing," I'm not even kidding you. I have another buddy who said that Jing Yuan isn't that good in Honkai Star Rail, needs a buff. People acted like he was shit talking a real person. It was fucking ridiculous. They were like, "How dare you shit talk my general?" And it's just like, what is going on here, man? What is going on?
Yeah,
it's just too much.
Rabid fan bases, man.
Yeah.
One little thing is enough to have the entire fan base turn on you. It's crazy.
Good news is I love when people hate me. So
hey, it's free publicity, right? Like the more
and also it fuels me. It fuels me a lot.
Yeah, and the more they talk about you, the bigger and more powerful you become. I mean,
like, so back in the day, I don't know about this. I don't know if this rings true for you, but like, the harder it is for me, the harder I try. Like, I used to be like in crippling debt. I think I was like $1.1 million in debt 3 years ago.
Jeez.
I got all that paid off. I did 2 subathons, and you know, I run 2 companies now, so I'm very, very, very financially stable. But I've learned now that I'm incredibly financially stable. I don't try as hard to make content, which is a shame. But now I'm a lot more comfortable. So it has highs and lows. Being poor really, really, really motivated me. Being disliked really, really, really motivates me. So it's about finding the positives and the negatives. And that's what I try to do.
I don't know why you're disliked. You seem perfectly likable to me. I mean, your streams are good. Your videos are good. Like,
because I'm a dickhead.
we all are at times.
Yeah.
Like,
it's because I'm a fucking dickhead. I enjoy sarcasm a little bit too much. It's funny. It's funny as shit. Like the whole example, this shit with you and Tony too. I reacted to every video of that, and that was the funniest shit. I love it so much. Probably a little bit more than I should have, but how much I enjoyed that makes me a little bit of a dickhead. But I just, from the outsider's perspective, it was such a non-issue. Like, from my perspective, it was like, okay, guys, there is nothing going on here. But I loved it. I watched every single video on stream. Oh my God, it was so much fun. The issue was over. And then I'm not sure if you saw this. The issue was totally over. And then I went into Tony 2's chat section. I was like, Tony, we're going to need a part 3, buddy. And he's like, okay. It was so funny. It still kills me to today thinking about how was that for you, by the way, mentally? Was that draining, or were you just like, what is going on here?
No, I've had Reddit threads made about me before that just try to, for whatever reason, manipulate people into believing their weird false narrative just because I've said something negative about a game, or just because, like, man, years ago when Blue Protocol was first coming out, like, I made a subreddit for it because I thought, you know what, I love Blue Protocol. It's a great opportunity to build a community around it. So I pushed the subreddit in numerous videos, and I think I ended up with like 10,000 followers on the subreddit. And then people were like, Stix made this subreddit so he could farm links and farm views for his shitty channel. And I'm like, dude, the entire subreddit is comprised of my own fucking viewers. Like, it's got nothing to do with anything. And so, and this, like, you can check Reddit for it. Like, it's still there. It's one of the top results for MMObyte Reddit. Like, so I've lived through so many instances of drama. I found it hilarious because I actually found my joke funny. I saw the names and I laughed at it. Like, It's a YouTube username.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The username I use is Stix. Like, I mean, come on. My name comes from an inanimate object I found in the garrison in Warlords of Draenor, which was an expansion of WoW. I was looking at the ground and I'm like, what can I name myself on YouTube? And there was a stick next to like an anvil and a bunch of rocks, and I was like, I'm gonna call myself Stix. That is the origin of my name. Like,
that's a cool little bit of lore. Actually, I didn't know that. That's sick.
And it's so dumb. And I mean, people can laugh at it. It's a YouTube username. You see some of the funniest names that people create. They're fake, they're false, they're fantasy. Like, so I laughed at it. I laughed at every instance of it, but it was funny. And the more people reacted to it, the more people like started sending me DMs like, dude, are you okay? Like, I can't believe this is happening to me. Like, dude, I am fine. Like, I woke up and I did another video that I streamed. I'm continuing like nothing ever happened. But the more people that are reacting, I got like 1,000 subs that day. Like, there were so many people that were subbing.
But you did? Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, because like Asmon posted his reaction and people were like, I don't necessarily like Stix, but holy fuck, these guys are mentally unstable. Like,
yeah.
And like, I'm gonna go sub to him now purely in spite of what they're trying to accomplish here. So
that is so funny.
It is. And my Stix channel has actually continued to grow ever since that incident, like even faster than before. So I'm more than happy with it. They took their shot. Like,
yeah, your titles and thumbnails are they're something else, man.
Oh yeah, I get compliments on them all the time.
Yeah, they got some big old fucking titties on them, every single one.
Hey, I know what Gacha viewers want, right? Like, what Gacha players want.
My problem is when I upload those thumbnails, YouTube takes them down. How many times do you have to re-upload thumbnails? Never. What the fuck, bro? What the fuck?
Yeah. So I actually... Sometimes they will mark the video as not advertiser friendly just because of the thumbnail. They don't even remove the thumbnail anymore. They just immediately mark your video as not safe for work. So I'm like, well, that was probably a thumbnail issue. So I re-upload the video and I tweak the thumbnail a little bit, maybe move it down just a little bit, and boom, suddenly it's a green money icon.
Yep. What do you think? What do you think of Nicole from Zenless Zone Zero?
Dude, did you see? Let me get you. I did a video on Zenless just like, I think, what, yesterday? I mean, like, I feel like...
Yeah.
that should speak volumes about what I think about Nicole from Zenless Zone Zero.
She's beautiful, bro. The age restriction being 16 and up for that game is nuts. They are going way more lewd in Zenless Zone Zero than they have with their previous games.
Oh, yeah. Honkai is actually kind of tame in comparison. I feel like it's more tame even than, well, with the exception of Kafka, but I think Star Rail is actually kind of more tame than a lot of the waifus that you see in Genshin, but Zenless is taking things to a whole other spectrum. Like,
oh yeah.
I did, Hoyo actually flew me out to Anime Expo 2023 just like a month or two ago, and they had me record all this footage, and they actually had me like up on the stage, and this was the first time this has ever happened. They had their staff there like pushing people in line out of the way, and man, the looks I got, like, they were staring at me with such disgust. Like, who is this fucker and how is he getting pushed to the front of the line? And they had me up on the screen, like in front of hundreds of people on the big main screen. And I'm there, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm like fucking up my dodges and my parries. And I don't know, like the combinations of any of the characters or who synergizes with who. And then they had me like trying to fit into the tiny little car. And then they had me up there with the cosplayers, and they're like, we want you to put on the little hat thing with the bunny ears and like sit in the car. And I'm like 6'1", so I'm not a short guy. And they're like, just sit in the car and like pretend like you're driving it. So I hop in there and I'm like fucking trying to get in there, and hundreds of people watching me, and I'm like fucking, and I pop back out. I'm like, I know it says in the contract I gotta sit in the car, but I can't fit. Like, so like, can I hang out the car door and just like smile or thumbs up or something like that? Will that work? And they're like, yeah, sure, that'll work. And they had some crazy cosplayers there. It was
I was also there. I went with Emmy. Hold on, let me send you an image. They also moved me to the front of the line, and we got to take a photo with Pom Pom. I sent it to you in the group chat.
Oh yeah, that's a nice outfit. Yeah, you pull it off really well.
Thanks. Thanks, man. Bro, look at how hard this outfit goes. That shit goes crazy, bro.
No, dude, it suits you.
Yeah, I know, man.
Yeah,
Hey, what can I say?
when are you gonna do a stream in that?
Then I did it then.
Oh, that was your stream.
Yeah. I did a stream at Anime Expo for all 3 days. I was hanging out with some of my homies like Jimmy here, and Rubber Ross and Emmy and Miz, and yeah, it was good. It was really good. The anime fans, surprisingly, I was going to Hoyo versus booth and I was afraid, but surprisingly, almost everybody there knew me, and they were like, "Oh, Techie," and some people were like, "Holy shit, it's Tectone!" And I'm like, "Hey, man, what's going on?" I thought I was gonna get stabbed, but yeah, turns out everything's okay after all.
Oh, that's okay. I saw someone when I was walking out, because I was actually there the same day that Amaru was there, and just before that, I was outside walking down the hall, and then there was this girl that passed me, and she's like I'm walking with my wife, and as I walk by, she goes, "Is that Stix?" Oh my god, that's Stix. And I was like, okay. Yeah, well, I guess I'm not gonna stop by there and say hey. I'll just continue walking. Like,
yeah. Oh, yo, you see Girls Frontline too?
that what?
You see Girls Frontline too?
Oh yeah, I did a video on it. Their character models are fucking insane.
Yeah, I can't wait for that game as well. There's so many good games upcoming.
Dude, right? And they're looking better and better. They're having better mechanics, better features. Like,
Yep. Papa John's.
I know we mentioned the gacha genre is looking real good, but man, it is. I feel like they're at a point where they're competing with already existing and upcoming like AAA budget anime games. Yeah. And holy crap, like the future looks insane right now. Yeah,
Girls Frontline 2 is already it's 16 plus as well.
Oh.
And it already has 4.1 million pre-regis.
Yeah, when I last looked at it, it was at 3, and I think that was like a week ago.
Yeah, it's I don't know when they're planning to release, but I do. Am going. When?
Q1 2024 is when they mentioned, I think. Man, I did this in a video just like the other day.
Oh, fuck. Fuck yeah, dude.
I think they mentioned global.
If it's not releasing global at the same time as everybody else, then it's dead.
Yeah, global early 2024. So
and is that going to be the same launch as everything else?
Is that going to launch on
is every server launching at the same time, or is it global last?
Well, I think it said China will be releasing in the 4th quarter of 2023, but global will be releasing 3 months later.
That's such a fucking mistake, bro.
I agree. A lot of Chinese companies do it, though.
It is fucking idiotic. Like, absolutely fucking idiotic. I don't know why these companies do it. Blue Protocol's doing it. Fuck, Girls Frontline's doing it. That's horrible, bro. There's a reason why Hoyoverse doesn't do that shit, because they know it does not work.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous.
Actually, I couldn't believe that Amazon delayed the release of Blue Protocol like repeatedly to the end of 2023, beginning of 2024. It's like the game will have been out for 6 to 8 months in Japan, and everyone will have already played it by then. And by the time like global players like you, me, Asmon gets to actually play the game, everything will have already been done. Like there will be nothing new, nothing exciting. Everything will have been covered. There'll be guides for everything. You won't be able to just jump in and like explore it all and experience it for the first time.
Yep, everything will be optimized. People will know the meta. People are going to enforce the meta from the beginning. It is just fucking awful to do. What a fucked up day to find that out about. That actually makes me so sad. What a fucking shame.
I'm still excited though, because it looks I've seen the characters in that game. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, I do agree. Having games released in their country of origin first is much more, I think, damaging to the global release when it eventually does, because a lot of people do play games in China and Korean and Japanese. Like it's easy, like if you're anticipating a game, it makes sense to go and play it in another country, because I mean, like I played Blue Protocol for 4 days before I got banned. I played it for like 8 hours each day, and it was a ton of fun. But
fuck yeah,
that's because I was looking forward to it. And I know Asmon streamed it, he got banned. Like a lot of global players played it, got banned. That's because we're all like so excited to actually play it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So we're all gonna play Girls Frontline 2 in Chinese, and then I mean, how many of them are gonna migrate on over to global? There'll probably still be a solid amount. Probably even more players will try it out when it launches, but it's still gonna lose out on a large chunk of players.
Oh, 1,000,000%. It just, God, it could have been so successful, man. I just don't get it. I do not get why companies do that. I just truly do not get it. Like, I really, oh God, Stix, you made me angry. Fuck, dude, damn it. Oh, it could have been so good. Why did they fuck it up?
Well, I mean, this is why I don't typically tend to talk to people. So.
Yeah. Oh, damn, bro. You did this. Damn.
Well, I guess
you know whose fault it was? NetEase. It has to be.
Yeah. They probably they bought up the subsidiary and now they own publishing rights or whatever else, right?
Yeah.
But I know what I'm gonna title the video now. Tectone hates Girls Frontline 2.
There you go, man. You can go for it. Do whatever you want.
I'm just kidding. Kind of. Yeah. I'm kind of curious what would happen if I did, but at the same time, like...
Hey, let's find out, brother. I do not care. Say whatever you want. Nothing you could say can be worse than the shit that I've already heard for no reason, so I don't give a fuck.
What are you looking forward to next year, though? I mean, evidently not Girls Frontline 2 anymore, as much at least, but...
Nah, I mean, I'm still gonna play it. You know, there's that cat girl. Her ass is huge.
Oh, yeah. Her stretches.
Yeah, next year I'm turning 30. Which I'm pretty excited about.
Yeah, it's all downhill from here.
I don't know, man. I feel like 30 is the new 20. And, you know, a lot of people from back in the day, their life would really start when they would, you know, they get fresh out of high school or college and have a house, bada bing, bada boom. But things have really slowed down, and also the average expected lifespan's kind of increased. So I think 30 is fine. I'm actually very excited to be there because I have enough wisdom for what's going on to kind of live my life the way that I want to live it now. But for next year, honestly, I haven't really thought about it too much, if I'm being completely frank, because the present right now is so fun to live in. I'm not really looking towards the future because I'm just so happy in the now.
Mm-hmm. Well, not after I told you about Girls Frontline 2.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, we have a lot of good games coming out, though, next year, I think. Girls Frontline 2, Zenless, theoretically, maybe Wuthering Waves. We haven't gotten any information on Arknights Enfield in, I feel like, fucking 2 years.
Oh, yeah, that game looks rough. And I think that it's the last time I saw it, it was looking real rough, and I don't foresee any changes to truly like fix that unless they do a complete overhaul. It looks, and I'll just be real, okay? This trailer of Arknights Enfield, it doesn't compare to the Project Mugen one.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't compare to Zenless Zone Zero. It doesn't compare to Wuthering Waves. So I don't know what they plan on doing, but yeah, unless they do something nuts, it is looking pretty grim for Enfield.
Did you get to see the recent dev leak for Arknights Enfield that happened about a month ago?
No. Is it bad?
Well, it's not necessarily about the game, but there was footage leaked of Enfield's development. And the reason it was leaked was because the developer in question, the guy, got caught cheating on his girlfriend or his wife. There's a link for it. It's fucking great.
Wait, you linked me? Yeah. Oh my god, bro. What the fuck?
You can read that in your spare time, but it is good shit. Like, imagine you going radio silent for years and not kind of having any kind of update on the game, and then after 2 years, like, you finally have information, you have like footage or images revealed, and it's because one of your staff members was caught fucking cheating on his girlfriend. Like,
yeah, that is fucking wild, brother. That is fucking wild. What the fuck,
man? The gacha genre is a fantastic place to be. It's fascinating and it is so much fun.
Yeah, it's good. I just, dude, man, you were hitting me with some bombshells today, huh? Yeah, you know some secrets, brother. You know some secrets. God damn. Where do you go on Reddit?
Info.
Yeah, do you go on Reddit for this shit or no?
I do, yeah. I love Reddit. They might have a lot of shit to say about me, but at the same time, they have a lot of useful shit as well.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The problem with Reddit is that everybody speaks like they know what the fuck they're talking about. And the other problem is they say what other people want to hear. So changing narratives on Reddit is very, very, very difficult because people latch on. It's like, it really is a circle jerk hug box of people wanting approval from one another. Like people cherish their karma scores more than their own like morality. And they will say whatever they think will get the most upvotes in any comment. It is so fucking cringe. That's why I do cover Reddit sometimes, but Jesus Christ, do I take everything on that site with a grain of salt.
Oh yeah, it should be. There's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of shit you have to sift through to actually get to the useful bits. But I mean, there are some hidden gems in there.
Hidden, very hidden gems. Very hidden.
It takes a while, but I mean, it's worth it. Content's content. Drama is content. Like Reddit. I agree. Reddit, especially like the respective Gacha subreddits, are all filled with endless drama. It is community versus community. Like you go to the Tower Fantasy one, they're doing nothing but shit talking Genshin. You go to Genshin, they're shit talking Tower Fantasy. You go to Arknights, they're shit talking someone else. It's like, and then their communities are like, you know, we're super friendly and welcoming, and you know, we don't have any beef with any other community at all.
Yeah, I know, man. I love going to these people who like make like these like 14 paragraph essays on why like you're a piece of shit, like why Stix is problematic, and then I go to their like profiles and I see them liking photos of like just the grossest shit, saying the most down bad shit. God, bro, it's so fucking cringe. Like, good lord, would you really, like, I'll be real, dog, like would you really trust the opinion of a man? You know what? Let's not get into this on video. I don't know what type of shit you want on your channel, but I was about to say some fucked up shit, man. I mean, okay, you know, I'll go ahead and say it. Would you really trust the man whose waifu is Diona from Genshin Impact? Would you really trust that guy? Would you really trust what they have to say in the game? Absolutely fucking not. These people are fucking freaks, brother. They are fucking freaks. And if you don't believe me, next time you see a content creator hater thread, which, by the way, if that's your entire personality, Jesus Christ, go outside. You click on these people's posts and you will see the most pathetic. Holy shit, who is talking about me? Sorry, I'm getting pinged in fucking Mizkif's chat. Sorry.
You're fine.
Yeah. No. These people will say the most ridiculously weird shit you have ever heard.
I don't disagree. It's Reddit, man. Social media, the anonymity that people possess behind the shield of their computer screen, it's all crazy.
Yeah, why wouldn't you bullshit? Like, literally, why wouldn't you? When your face isn't out there, why the fuck wouldn't you, bro?
Oh yeah, and then when you see these people face to face, they're completely different. Like, oh man, like, I think it was about like 3 years ago, Nexon flew me out to their studio in San Francisco, and there was this guy who was a content creator in the gacha scene, and 2 days prior he left a comment on one of my videos saying, all you do is talk smack about games, never change, man, you're a fucking tool. So we were flown out to LA, to San Francisco. We weren't told who was gonna be there. So lo and behold, the guy that was talking shit about me was there. This guy had, I think, about like 30K subs, I think, and at the time I had like 200. So this guy walks up to me, he's like, oh my god, dude, Stix, I love your videos, man. You are so good. I watch every video you do. He's like trying to shake my hand, and I'm like, hold on, his name seems familiar. So then later on, I pulled out my phone, I went through the comments, I was like, this is the guy. This is a guy that told me I'm a fucking tool in the comment section yesterday. And then
Can you DM me who it was? I won't say it. I'm genuinely curious.
I can, yeah. I can do it after the recording's over. Because I'm screen capturing the Discord chat right now.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So, and he's like, dude, I watch all your videos. Like, I watched your video yesterday. I can tell you all the games you talked about in your news video. Like, dude, I love your stuff. You're so incredible. And I was like, yeah, okay. So then I just went over and like talked to the developers, and there's this other guy. So I have quite a few haters. Just let me throw that out there.
I know.
So he actually did 3 videos on me about 3-4 years ago about how I was ruining the MMO genre and how I was stealing views from his channel because of how I titled my videos. And so I met him in person.
The whole reactors are evil. Oh my god, it's so annoying every single time I've heard it. You want to know why? I've never had a single person complain to me about me reacting to their videos, right? Every person I react to, they literally thank me. I got even thanked today by a guy called Mr. Pokey, who said that I made his channel the moment I reacted to him. Like, he gained like 12K subs in 24 hours. after I reacted to his content. Right? The only people who have a problem with me reacting are the people who I'm not reacting to. It is
because they
fucking
believe
wild.
that they deserve to have content reacted to because they want their videos to blow up, and they believe that they feel entitled to it.
Of course. It's so ridiculous.
I don't have any issue with React content at all. I feel like, dude, once I push out my content there, it's public. Like,
yeah, thank God, because I've reacted to like 12 of your videos.
Oh, really? I did not know. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, no, of course, man, of course.
But I mean, once it's out there, it's out there. People can react to it however they want. Like, my viewers are gonna watch it, and then if other people's viewers watch it too, there's a chance that there'll be like a carryover where some of those viewers will come over if they like what they see. Like, and let's be honest, if you know, you do a video that gets like 50,000 views reacting to something that I've done or something someone else has done, those 50,000 viewers weren't probably gonna be there to watch it on my channel anyway. Like, different audience, different target demographic. Like, there's that. I mean, it might be a bit of a contentious opinion to have, but I don't have any issue with it. Like,
yeah, I don't have any problem with it either. Even before I was a reactor, because I used to just make my own shit. But it's just way more fun to like shine light on like different channels, and you know, also, it's easy. I always keep it a buck. I pull the video, and I can talk for anything forever. Like, give me like a fucking stick, talk about that shit for fucking hours, bro. I don't know what it is. I gotta have a mental illness. I got to, but I always got something to say about everything, and I appreciate how many people are willing to listen about that. And yeah, by the way, do you know what this is in my hand?
No. I have you kind of small screen. I can't really.
Do you know what slime is?
I mean,
or like, have you ever played with slime?
No, I'm not from America.
Where are you from?
Australia. 27 years I lived there. I just moved here a few years ago.
Oh, really? What the fuck?
Yeah.
What are you doing down there, man?
What was I doing down in Australia? I was born there.
Oh, okay. All right.
I lived there my whole life. I just moved to America a few years ago because I got married.
Oh, so you're back in America now? No,
I was born in Australia, and a few years ago I came to America for the very first time, and then I've been here since.
Okay. Wait, so whereabouts?
In America?
Yeah.
North Carolina. Raleigh, specifically.
That's where was I born there? Hold up. That's either the place I was born or the place where I think I'm born. Hold up. I'm sorry. Oh, no, I was born in Oklahoma. Never mind. I always think that I was born. I always think that I was born in North Carolina, but I never was. It is so confusing to me, bro. Fuck. Because I was the last baby born in the hospital I was at, and then I moved immediately as a little baby. So it confuses me. I don't know why. And I've been getting it confused for 29 years, man. I can never stop. It's so annoying.
Hey, that's okay. Happens to the best of us. People never believe that I'm from Australia, so.
Yeah, that's crazy, actually. Where's your accent, man?
Where's from? Well, when I was a teenager, you know what SEO is?
Search engine optimization.
Thank you. One of the few people in the world that know what it is. So, when I was a kid, a teenager, I got into SEO, and there was this guy, client I propositioned, and there were two other people, an American and a Brit. The American goes, don't listen to him, don't take his idea, he's just a stupid Australian. The Brit goes, yeah, he's just a stupid Australian, just completely disregard his opinion. So then the client's like, oh, okay, I had no idea Australians were so dumb. Sure. And then I came back the next day, and I was like, well, if this is going to inhibit me from getting a job, I'm going to pretend to be American. So I was like, I've watched a lot of movies, I played a lot of video games, I know how to emulate an American accent. So I went back to him as a different username, and I was like, hey man, I'm American. Same idea though. And he's like, oh, that's a fucking fantastic idea. And you're American. Perfect. Got the job, and I was like, well, this is my accent, you know, in a work environment going forward. If I have to be American to be successful, sure, I'll pretend to be American. And you know,
that is fucking unreal, brother. What the fuck? What is that, man?
Yep. We all have weird backstories.
Yeah, Jesus.
So you live in Texas. I feel like a lot of creators do.
Oh yeah, Austin, Texas. I was here. I've been living in Texas and Virginia the majority of my life. I went to Canada for 10 years. Good God. It was so boring up there.
Canada?
Oh, fuck. Yeah, but Austin, Texas, bro, it has all my favorite shit. I play a lot of Magic the Gathering, so it's a very good Magic the Gathering scene. Weather is generally good, but the problem is it's been 104 degrees every single day for a month and a half, and I feel like I'm dying when I'm in my own house because my AC breaks every other 2 weeks, which is about the most irritating shit on earth. But yeah, there's a lot of people here, man. There's a lot of people here, and I love it. Don't get me wrong, I love it. Oh.
Hey, a lot of networking potential, a lot of opportunities to engage with other Gacha creators. There you go.
No, they don't do that. Plus, like, I mean, networking in real life is like pointless. I like meeting people on Discord, but I don't know, man. You'd be surprised. I mean, at the end of the day, they're still creators. They're all shut-ins. They don't leave their fucking house at all, ever. Like, they do not. It is fucking wild. Like, I'm in OTK and getting us all out of the house at the same time. It's impossible. Have you talked? You've met Asmongold, man. You know that guy doesn't leave his fucking house.
Well, thankfully, I'm married to a nurse, so she works real hard, like 13-hour shifts half the week, and the other half the week, she's like, dude, I want to go out and do something. So
yeah, there you go.
So I'm forced out of my comfort zone all the time.
Oh, buddy. Also, do you like cats?
I did. I had a cat that lived to about 18 years old.
Oh, what was her name?
Coco. She was white
cute.
Persian.
How big do you think this cat is?
Like, how much does it weigh?
Yeah.
It looks very plump.
So in case you know, I'm 6'7". So this cat,
shit.
This cat is a fucking behemoth, bro. Like, this is a big motherfucking cat. It's a you know what Maine Coon is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an Omega class Maine Coon. He is a big fucking boy. If I had my roommate up here to hold it, it's like the 75% of her body. The thing is a fucking giant. My camera's not doing it justice. Hold up, buddy. Let me see my next caller. Yo, Pink! Yo, come here real quick!
Well, I mean, this is prime content. We got the cat licking its butt. Like,
yeah. I gotta show you how big my cat is. This is my best friend. I love him so much. He's the coolest. I thought this is gonna blow your mind because it looks so small when I hold it. When my roommate holds it. Yo, can you pick up Eggy real quick? Just pick him up and just show how big this fucking cat is. Oh, what a big... Is that not an enormous cat?
Oh, man, yeah.
Like, that is a fucking big cat.
It's a fucking little lion.
Yeah, he's a little lion. What a good boy. All right, thanks, Becky. Cool, just wanted to show you that. I love that cat so much, fuck.
Dude, it is massive.
That's what I do every day when I'm done streaming. I just play with my cat for like hours and hours and hours. He is so funny. He wakes me up every morning. I go to sleep. He sleeps in my bed with him. He sleeps in my bed every night. Oh, fuck, I love this cat. He's the coolest. He's one of the reasons why I love doing content creating, because if I don't make tons of money, then I can't get him his favorite food. And every morning I feed him $8 worth of cat tuna food because he's very hungry. Mm-hmm. And that's a lot. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money every morning. So I want to make sure I remain successful. That way I can afford to give this cat everything he wants, because I fucking love this cat, man. I got 3 cats. He's the best, though. He's the best.
How old is he?
Only, like, not even 2, man. Not even 2.
Dude, he's a baby, and he's so massive.
Yeah, Maine Coons grow until they're 4 years old.
Damn.
Hey, bud. Hey, bud.
Now, if none of these games are games that you're at all interested in, absolutely no problem. I got you covered with 2 different videos on screen right now. Might be more interest to you.